Hey guys, Rise here, bringing you another Starcraft 2 replay commentary. Wings of Liberty! I know, very cool name. Not really sure what it means yet because there's no first player campaign that you can try out. But hey, I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. Going to be a very fun game for you, or so they tell me anyway. Supposedly it's a really good game. I haven't actually seen it. Well, that's not entirely true. I've seen the first 9 minutes up to. After this is literally the 8th time I'm trying to record this effing replay. It's either crashed, blue screened, I've been interrupted, causing SC2 to crash, graphic lag, driver problems, reinstalling drivers or whatever. And finally, I'm hoping this one goes through. If it does, I can actually say finally. But we'll find out soon enough. Hopefully I don't see any blue screens. Anyway, we got LzGamer under the Team EG tag, the red Terran player, playing against Resposne, the blue protoss. Now, I know you guys have seen a lot of PVTs recently, and I got one more for you before I do a Zerg game. I promise I'm going to do a Zerg game, but I just heard this game was so good, I wanted to get it done. You've seen a game from Resposne already. I don't think we've seen a game from LzGamer quite yet. I did commentate one, but I didn't put it up because, frankly, it wasn't all that exciting, so I decided to do this one instead. Although, no, I really can't do the other one. I already deleted the recording. So much for that. Sorry. You're not really missing anything, though. This game, however, is supposed to be very exciting. Now, I already told you about Resposne in my previous video. If you want to find out more about him, you can certainly watch that video, and this way you can save me from having to repeat everything. LzGamer, though, popular StarCraft 1 player, also a person who streams a lot of his games. Chances are you've watched it if you've watched streaming StarCraft. There's a really good chance, actually, because he tends to have, like, 400 or 500 viewers at a time. Typically, he played Zerg, and now he has switched to Terran. So maybe I'll have to change his game from Lord Zerg Gamer to Lord Terran Gamer, LT Gamer. Hey, at least it kind of rhymes, I guess. So anyway, a couple of things let's look at really early on. We got more probes than SCVs. That would be because he's been using Chrono Boost, as you see right there, on his Nexus. And basically what that allows him to do is build these units quicker. Look how fast those warp in. And that bumps up his count quite a bit. So if we were to look at the income tab, by the way, thank you guys for telling me about the shortcuts to these tabs. Huge help, because now I don't have to look at each tab to find out what I want. It makes sense where I can look like, oh, APM, oh, Army, oh, income, and be able to see exactly what I want. So anyway, we can see that Resposne is ahead. Now, that's for a couple of reasons. First off, we got Terran player. He can't make SCVs at the rate that Resposne can make his probes at. Whoops, I hit pause. All right, I'm not that good at it yet. There they are, right there. He's got 20 versus the 17 at LzGamer. Not to mention, he needs to use his SCVs to build buildings. And now he's got this orbital command center, which is going to allow him to warp in a mule at some point, maybe in the near... There it is, right there, drops in. I expected that to happen. Actually, I knew that was going to happen because I saw that far, at least. So now that's going to allow... this is like the Terran way of coping with Chrono Boost, basically, allowing him to get more minerals. But it's a different mechanic. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's look at this mule. All right, we see these long extending arms. Now, that's not just because it's a cool animation. No, if you look at it, he's literally mining over the SCV. So 2 units are mining at the same time from that mineral field. That means that is more minerals per second than any other race can get if they're both maximally saturated at this mineral field, which they're not yet, but still, that makes quite a big difference because this unit doesn't have to wait to mine, it just does it. And that's especially important because it's on a timer. It dies after a little while. So we can see if we go back to the income tab, LzGamer catching up. You see, if at times even going ahead, staying even though he's got a lot less SCVs than we have probes. And that's because he also brings back 25 minerals every time with that mule. Of course, the mule runs out after a while, but you know what? Even when it breaks down, you just call a new one in, and life is good again. So, LzGamer, you're making use of the Terran super miner, let's call him that for now, the mule. It's kind of cool that they gave him that name, and worth knowing about. That also plays a big role in the high yield expansions when we get to that later in the game, if they do in fact go for that. I don't know, to be honest. Again, I haven't seen past like 8 or 9 minutes in this game, and that's just because, well, I kept crashing. Not much I can do about that. So I really don't know the outcome of this game. Both players swear that it's a really good game, though, so that's a great anti-spoiler for all you out there. Anyway, warp gates out already for Response while we were watching the mule work very hard for LzGamer and mining minerals. And the cool thing about the warp gates, as you know or might know by now, they have like a 30-second timer basically, where you warp in a unit, and as soon as you do, that timer starts. But the cool thing about that, you can chrono boost that and speed up that 30-second downtime to much less. So not only are you already warping units in faster to any pylon that you want, you can do it even quicker. And there we see our first lame-ass ComSat. They really need to update that graphic to something cooler than that. I mean, that is so ridiculously pathetic for StarCraft 2 graphics. Alright, already we can see the builds that both players are going. It looks like a very fast expansion coming from Team EG's LzGamer. Now, this is his typical style of play at this point in the beta. I've seen him do this quite a few times already. He'll get a couple of barracks, or depending on the race he's playing anyway, sometimes he'll go Hellions to harass instead of 2 barracks. But here, he's got a reactor core as well as his tech lab so he can research some of this amazingly cool stuff. In the meantime, wow, I didn't catch that. He's got a couple of Phoenixes already out, and man, it looks like they are flying really. Wow, they just went through that bridge. It looks like they're flying very quickly to the Terran base, where they're probably going to lift up some SCVs after scouting around a little bit to take out some units. And yeah, they can't attack ground. That's very worth knowing. But what they can do is they can lift units up and then attack those units. Now, I don't know if they have enough energy yet. It looks like they do. It only costs 50, so they can pick up 2 units, and it looks like they'll take that out pretty quickly. But, oh, Response not paying attention, loses one very fast to the ground army of Marauder Marines that we're seeing from, and a Ghost already, wow, from LzGamer. And he's going to be able to use EMP very effectively very early on. I like this tactic, to be honest. That's going to put him in a good position later on. So, Response, no kills yet with these Phoenixes. So far, not the best investment. However, it's still early on. Now, there's a couple of turrets up already, so he's going to have to really be careful in trying to harass. LzGamer not taking any chances, putting up the amount of turrets necessary to really defend against things. Try to put up another one. I think Response just tried to lift that SCV. Oh, he can! He can lift up the SCV that's building! That's absurd. I didn't know that. That's awesome. All right, this is new uncharted territory. And he takes out the mule! Brilliant. Very good use of the Phoenix's lift-up ability. Unfortunately, almost losing a Phoenix there. Not quite going to lose it. Looks like he's going to get out just in time. They're very fast units, as you can see him sweeping around the map. Yeah, you can lock onto them somehow. I forget how to do that. Let's see. Oh, no. I can ping. No, I can't. You can ping in the game, by the way. It's very useful in 2 vs. 2. There's another mule coming down. It looks like he is warping in. Yes! The planetary fortress. What a badass building that is, huh? I mean, look at it. It's just got 2 giant guns on it. It's so difficult to take that out. It's like a super tank. And really a cool upgrade for Terran players. I really do enjoy that. I think that was a clever thing to add in. So we see the Ghost Academy already. I wonder if he's researched any nukes. If we go to the production tab, oh, that's the pause button again. I don't know the production hotkey. Sorry. D. All right. If we go to D, we can see that no, he hasn't. It doesn't look like he's researching any nukes quite yet. Phoenix is still going around trying to harass some more. We're going to take out another mule, it looks like, but so many turrets there. Man, Response taking heavy damage. Not sure how. It was probably worth it, but oh, he loses a Phoenix. He's got to be more careful than that. Otherwise, really taking out those mules not going to be that big of a deal. Although, the interesting thing is, because of the planetary fortress, which is good against rushes from Protoss, LzGamer's behind in terms of he can't get as many mules out. So if we go back to the income tab, we can see that, actually, LzGamer's doing pretty good here. Still got, I guess he's still using his mules to his ability when possible. Let's go back. I haven't really spent enough time in Response's base. Looks like he's making Immortals instead of Colossus at this moment. And he's got his second base up and his third now up and running. So, yeah, he's going to start jumping ahead, which it looks like he already is. And a couple of pylons going up, maybe cannon that off in a little bit to protect a little bit better. Looks like oh, look at that. He got the charge ability for the Zealots already. That's cool. I don't think we've actually seen that yet in game, in any of my games. Or maybe we have. I don't know. But, very useful ability to have now that it's active on these Zealots. Going to help out against the build that we're seeing of LzGamer right now, which is just mass Marauder Marine. You know, mostly tier 1 units here, spamming them out pretty good, and it's certainly